Sunday, November 17th. We've got 4 games, 3 bets. Let's talk some hockey. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Karan Thakur, and we've got 4 games in the NHL on Sunday, November 17th. And as always, guys, before we get into the best bets for today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. All 3 of those things, they go a long, long way in helping support this channel. And a couple of housekeeping things. I know some of you guys have been asking for more videos, whether it's in the comments here or in the Discord. And I will do my best to get you guys some more content, but I do have a full-time job that's required my attention, especially more than normally recently. So hence, a lot of the plays have been on Discord. You know, we try to get them out on YouTube community as well. But yeah, just a reminder, if you are not in the Discord, don't forget to hop in there. There's a lot of sharp people that are in that Discord, and we're always sharing plays and tailing one another. And with all of that out of the way, I am still getting my Excel caught up, so we're just going to get straight to business today. And we are starting off in Vegas, where we've got the 11-4-1 Washington Capitals. They are visiting the 11-4-2 Vegas Golden Knights. And in terms of the goaltending matchup for this game, neither of these two teams are playing on Saturday night, and this would be a homecoming for Logan Thompson. So although the expected goaltender on RotoWire says Charlie Lindgren, I think this will be a Logan Thompson start. I mean, that's what makes the most sense to me, but you never know. The Caps are on a back-to-back, so, you know, they might save Logan Thompson for the second game of that back-to-back in Utah, but, you know, you would think that they would do right by him and let him start this game in Vegas. And then on the Vegas side, they should be rolling with Mr. Adin Hill. Yeah, and in terms of spots that are sticking out for this game, I'm not picking a side, but I expect lots of goals to come. The Knights, they lead the NHL in terms of profitability on overs. So in their 16 games played so far, if you played the over in all of their games, your record would be 11 wins, 4 losses, and 2 pushes, which is plus 6.55 units, number 1 in the league. And on the Washington side, they're also really solid on overs. They're 7th best in the NHL. So in their 16 games, the over is hit 9 times, lost 5 times, and pushed twice. So if you took the overs in all of the Washington games, you would also be up plus 3.35 units. So looking at profitability for both sides in terms of game overs. And if we look at just the basic numbers as well, Washington is number 1 in the league in terms of goals scored at 51. And Vegas is number 2 in the league with 47 goals scored. So, I mean, how do you not take the goals in this game, right? Unless Logan Thompson comes home to Vegas and just pitches like an absolute shutout. I see a similar game script to, you know, what we saw the other night with Washington in Colorado. So yeah, I'm just taking the over here, over 6 at minus 125 on Bet365 for 1.5 units. And then I'm also taking the over 6.5 for half a unit at minus 105 on Bet365 as well. And the reason why I have it structured that way is because I do expect 7 or more goals in this game, and I expect both those bets to cash. I mean, that's why I'm playing them. But if for whatever reason we get hooked on 6 goals, the 1.5 unit play pushes, and we just lose a half unit. So, you know, a little bit more of some insurance there just in case we get hooked. But yeah, I mean, you know, with Washington playing a back-to-back starting off tomorrow night in Vegas, I'm really hoping that you know, they go with Logan Thompson, because I do think that we'll see a lot of goals in that matchup. But if they go Charlie Lindgren, I don't have any issues with it either. I think Charlie Lindgren is, you know, a step down actually from Logan Thompson. But, you know, with the Vegas players having seen Logan Thompson over the years, whether it's in practice or, you know, shoot around or whatever it may be, even if he's motivated, I think they'll find ways to score goals, especially at home. So that is bet number 1 and bet number 2. We're going over 6 goals, 1.5 units, minus 125, and over 6.5 goals, half a unit at minus 105. And both of those are on Bet365. And for bet number 3, we are heading to Vancouver, where the 5-10-3 Nashville Predators are in Vancouver to take on the 8-4-3 Canucks. And the expected goaltenders for this matchup are UC Saros on the Nashville side and Kevin Lankinen on the Vancouver side. And the Predators, they will be the fresher side in this matchup. They do have Saturday night off, while the Canucks, they're taking on the Chicago Blackhawks at home. But I'm not too concerned in regards to the Canucks side for this matchup because, when you have a back to back, if you're traveling overnight, it's a lot more difficult to, get your legs going on that second night. But when you're camping out in your hometown, it's really not too bad. In fact, some may even say you have a little bit of advantage because, you're kind of sharper. You just play the night before and you get back to it right away. And, maybe later in the game it might it might come into account, but not too concerned about the back to back factor here. And yeah, my favorite bet for this matchup, I'm on the Canucks 1 unit money line at -120 on Bet365. This will be a rematch from last year's Stanley Cup playoffs, where the Canucks held off the Predators to win in 6 games. But in the regular season, the Canucks, they've been dominating this head-to-head matchup. They've won 3 straight regular season games against Nashville. And if we include the playoffs to kind of, open up the sample size, make it a little bit larger to the last 10 games, the Canucks have won 8 out of their last 10 matchups against Nashville overall, playoffs and regular season included. So apart from the historical data, if we dive into the advanced numbers here, Vancouver, they are a top 10 team in expected goal difference. Their expected goal difference is plus 3.71, which ranks number 7 in the NHL. And the Predators, they're bottom 10 in most advanced metrics, unfortunately. I know they had a lot of roster additions in the offseason. They've added Shea, Stamkos, Marchessault to an already pretty solid core of Roman Josi and Philip Forsberg, and of course Saros in goal. But it's just not coming together for Nashville for some reason. It looks like one of those NHL 25, PS5 or Xbox 360 off-season modes, general manager off-season modes, where you're just completely loading up the roster and signing a bunch of free agents. But how often do we see it in the NHL or in sports in general? It doesn't come together as nicely as it may look on paper when there's that many splashy additions, unless you're LeBron James and the Miami Heat in 2012. But that's for another day. But yeah, Nashville, they're 1-4-3 on the road this season. The Canucks, they haven't been great at home either. They're only 2-3-3. So just taking the lesser of the two evils here. I think with Vancouver's recent historical success head-to-head against Nashville, and the advanced numbers also backing Vancouver. Vancouver's at home here. I got to take them on the money line at -120. I think that's pretty solid value. Take that for 1 unit on Bet365. And there you have it, guys. Those are your 3 best bets for November 17th. Let's do a quick bet recap. So bet number 1, we're taking the Vegas Knights and the Washington Capitals game total of over 6 for 1.5 unit at -125 on Bet365. Bet number 2, we're taking the Washington Capitals and Knights same game over 6.5 for half a unit at -105 on Bet365. And for bet number 3, we're going with the Vancouver Canucks money line. We're taking that for 1 unit at -120 on Bet365 as well. And just a couple of things to note here. For the Caps and the Knights game, actually, while I was recording this video, there was a crazy line movement. Like before I started recording and doing editing for this video, that line was set to -110. And this is what I had drafted up in my notes here, so I had to quickly edit it. But the reason why I'm saying this to you guys is because you might, if you are tailing that play, you might want to jump on that ASAP before the line movement continues to just, become unplayable. Like at this point, you're probably going to look at over 6.5 at -150 the way it's going. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer there. And for the Canucks money line, if you are playing that and you wish to tail it, try to take it on Bet365 if you have that available. They have that early payout promo, which I find is very, very helpful. You never know in the NHL, like we just saw the other day. The Ottawa Senators, those Ottawa Senators were up 4-2 against, I think it was Philly, late in the game, and they completely outshot Philly. Like I think it was 40-15 was the shots, something in that range. And Fedotov put on a Vezina performance. I guess that's what I get for backing the Sens as a Leafs fan. But he put on a Vezina performance, and the Flyers came back and won the game in overtime 5-4 after being down 4-2 with about 7 minutes remaining in regulation. And hence we see the value in the early payout offer on Bet365. So yeah, if you are choosing to tail that, try to take it on that book if you have it available. And that is it for today, folks. Once again, don't forget to check the pinned comments on this video. The player props are not out yet, but if there is anything that sticks out, it'll definitely be pinned in the pinned comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. We will catch you for the next one.